Hello and welcome to this week's SIOP feature where I'm going to be talking about the component of SIOP that involves strategies in the classroom, tangible things we can do to help our sheltered learners. And actually, I'm just going to reiterate look at my hair, what Mr. Shires brought up in yesterday's high school staff meeting. Now, middle school people, if you were not there, I'm not sure what you did, but Mr. Shires introduced a couple ideas from this Teach Like a Champion book by Doug Lemoff, ideas of fronting writing or using formative writing. That is essentially low stakes, ungraded writing, or writing that is just graded for completion, that gets students to think and wrestle with the ideas that we want to teach them, either after they write, usually formative writing is done before something, or after we've taught them something. So in this video, I'm going to quickly go through, like 7 or 8 tangible strategies of how you could implement this idea into your classroom. Why should we be doing this? Well, I think this was covered in the article yesterday, but let's just repeat that it is empirically true in my class, and according to the book and other teachers that have done this, increasing participation. If we get them to formatively write before we ask them to speak, crickets are much less common. All right, much more engagement, hands up. People want to share what they've done. There's this buy-in of, I have an idea, now I want to share it, versus when we kind of just warm call a question out to the class and they're all just staring, hoping someone else will do it. This also, again, allows us to cold call and not feel bad because they have something on their paper that they can read. This also enhances cognition. I mean, we are forcing students to think. We're coercing engagement by doing this type of writing. It is a wonderful strategy that also, for your spell students, gives them the time to formulate something so that when they share, they're not so on the spot. Anyway, let's get into the good part, the quick strategies. Something you can do before a lesson. This I stole from Doug Lemoff himself. It is an everybody write, everybody share, and the students take notes from what's being shared, and then everybody rewrite. It's just a 3-step process of introducing something before, during, and after. I said pre, but this is really pre, during, and after. Excellent formative writing strategy. Here's something I do in my class where we simply just do timed speed writings. Whatever the topic of the day is, I give them 90 seconds to produce as much language as possible, where grammar, very important, grammar does not matter. And then we track these numbers, and it kind of turns into like a little speed writing game. Excellent way to have low stakes, easy data on what students can do. Another thing you can teach them is teach them about stream of consciousness writing. We do this in my class. I call it no backspace writing. You're not allowed to touch the backspace button. If you make a mistake or whatever, you just keep plugging your thoughts onto that page. I mean, for a lot of times we ask our kids to have opinions about stuff, and they say, I don't know, because how can they know what they think until they see what they say? Get them to think first, then they can start to formulate their opinions. Now let's move on to some formative writing you can do after a lesson. I love these strategies. They're all quick exit tickets or formative writing that we can do to check to see what's happening. First one, $3 summary. Imagine each word costs 10 cents. Write me a summary of today's lesson in $3 or less. Or essentially working on constrained, concise, very accurate, precise writing of what they've learned that day. Here's another one. Catch up your absent friend. Imagine your friend in class was absent today. Write them a text that explains what we did in class and what we learned. Simple, low stakes, formative writing. I like this one. Pick an emoji that represents today's lesson, how you feel about it or what we learned, and explain why you chose that emoji. This one's also good. One word. Sum up today's lesson in one word and tell me why did you choose that word. Or hashtag, similar to one word, but now they can do a phrase or whatever. I don't know why I included all of these fashion hashtags in the bottom left. I really did that for you boomers who might not know what a hashtag is. And finally, my last note that I wanted to end on is, and this is a bit controversial, but it is something that is coming through the research and coming through the ranks of how to teach multilingual students, and that is, why not let them do this writing in their L1? We have place policy here. We want students to interact in English. But if it's a low stakes writing where you just need to get ideas out, why not let them write in their L1, their Korean, their Vietnamese, and then quickly translate? Think about it. I hope this helps.